And now I will invite Dr. Rajiv Bhatt.
Respected chair, co-chair, my fellow speakers, dignitaries in front of the dais, foreign scholars from all over the world and from India, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, a good afternoon to all of you. I know after a very good lunch you all will be feeling sleepy, but I won't take much of your time and will try to make my presentation as simple as possible and interesting. I will be speaking on holistic approach through integrative system of holistic healthcare for universal wellness. My paper is a bit lengthy, but I will try to skip some portion, and most of the thing I have tried to represent in the form of pictures, so you can see the slides. This is the format of my presentation. Normally I start my presentations with some of my favorite quotes, but because of shortage of time, I may not explain in detail, but I think all of you know the meaning of these quotes, and we have been listening since morning different quotes. Sharir Madhyam Khalu Dharm Sadhanam, Dharma Arth Kam Moksha Arogya Mulmatnam, Dharmeno Hino Pashu Samana. So these are some of my favorite quotes which I normally use, and the objective of today's presentation is to explicate holistic approach through integrative system of holistic healthcare for universal wellness, which is of great importance. And this involves consideration of health and hygiene and system of medicine if health goes wrongs. Recognition of health and hygiene, both individual as well as social, are hallmark of a civilized society, and they are essential for stability, all-round holistic personality development and self-realization. Though hygiene is of external, health is internal, both physical as well as mental, internal value, and hygiene is external value. But a symbiosis of the two is essential for physical, mental, and spiritual enhancement. Health is dependent on hygiene, and the two go together. And only in a healthy body resides a healthy mind, and when the mind is healthy, the spirit is pure, unpolluted, and blissful. It is very much pertinent to cite here the WHO definition of health, which is a state of physical, mental, social, and spiritual well-being. You see that the WHO has combined like important elements in the definition of health. I will be explaining few more terms also, but before that, we'll see that from where the notion of health has originated. So the health is derived from Middle English word health, and the meaning of health or is whole or wholeness or being whole or sound or well. It is also from the Indo-European root kailo, which means whole, intact, uninjured. It is the same root from where the other words like whole, wholesome, hale, holy have originated. So to be sound in turn is to be free from defect, decay or damage, or to be free from disease or abnormality or of illness. Now, if you take the meaning of holistic is used as an adjective, which means emphasizing the importance of whole and the interdependence of the parts. It concerned with the whole rather than analysis or separation into parts. So as an adjective, as a prefix, we use it for holistic medicine or holistic ecology or for other, like holistic approach. So the holistic medicine is noun, and which means that it is the medicine of or relating to the medical consideration of the complete person physically and psychologically in the treatment of disease. Thus, holistic medicine is an approach. I would like to emphasize here the word approach. It is holistic medicine is an approach to medical care that emphasizes the study of all aspects of personal health, including psychosocial, psychological, economic influences on health status. Thus, it is a comprehensive approach. WHO has given a definition of a holistic medicine as it is the term used to describe therapies that attempt to treat the patient as a whole person. That is, instead of treating an illness, holistic medicine looks at an individual's overall physical, mental, social, spiritual, emotional and cultural well-being before recommending treatment. Thus, it has taken into consideration various components from the definition of health. I will not go into the history of holistic medicine, but history of holistic medicine is very old and started from India and China, some say. So, the holistic system of medicine takes into consideration the complete person, both for promotion of health and disease prevention and cure. Complete person means the individual human being, his social and natural surroundings and cosmic coverings. Cosmic includes macro as well as micro environment. So, it is a comprehensive approach to healthcare and disease prevention. Preventive medicine not only deters disease, but also places greater emphasis on optimizing health and longevity of life. Health is not mere absence of disease. It is a positive state of physical, mental, intellectual, spiritual, social and cosmic wellness. It takes into account balancing of body, mind, intellect, soul and cosmos. To be healthy is to be in balance. To have balance is to be in order and help others to remain in order. Holistic approach is an approach which propagates the idea of healthy way of living, which truly means living in harmony with nature. It treats the symptoms of illness as well as looking for the underlying cause of illness. It also attempts to prevent illness by placing a greater emphasis on optimizing health. The body systems are seen as interdependent parts of the person's whole being. Its natural state is one of positive state in all dimensions. And an illness or disease is an imbalance in the body's system. Holistic therapies tend to emphasize ways to promote health, proper nutrition and avoidance of substances that harms the body. I think there is some problem with this laptop. It is not giving some of my diagrams. But normally, if you see the approach to healthcare, we take, whenever we are diseased, we take medicines and we get cure, and again the disease is there. So, this is the wrong approach, because the curative approach is not wrong. We have to, look for the other, why the disease is there. So, disease, as I said earlier, it's not, health is not negation or absence of disease. It is more than that. It is a positive state of wellness, of being self-situated. And we normally don't talk about health of an individual, because the human being lives in a society or a community. So, if you see the spectrum of health, it varies from individual to community, from positive health to better health to free. Like on the top is the positive health, and on the bottom is death. In between, there are different stages like better health, freedom from sickness or not disease, unrecognized sickness or unwell, mild sickness, severe sickness, and the extreme, one other extreme is death. So, generally we are concerned with bodily suffering or some sort of bodily disease and go to a doctor or hospital to get cured. But not only body, but mind also gets disease, and so too feelings, emotions, etc. So, the realm of sickness is very vast. In fact, if you see this diagram, the sickness of body is only tip of iceberg, and the sickness of, and it is both versa. Sickness of body may lead to sickness of mind, and sickness of mind may lead to sickness of feelings and emotions, and it's other way around. So, it's a vicious circle. And what we see is just a tip of an iceberg. So, thus, health is not mere absence of disease, it is a positive state. And WHO in recent years has amplified to include the ability to lead a socially and economically productive life in the definition of health. Thus, health is a realization of balanced body, mental strength, positive creative thinking, pure consciousness, pure soul, and health is swast, it is our natural capacity, or it is our swabhav. By this, we are always at ease. It implies that if our material intake is good and pure, then body remains balanced, mind remains in order, and soul is also self-situated. And if the body, mind, and soul have to be at ease or in equilibrium to be healthy. Thus, healthiness is conducive to bring about understanding of our unfailing interconnectedness with our fellow beings, environment, and planet Earth. Thus, health is our disease deterrent capacity or immunity. The sounder is the health, the stronger is the human. Negative thinking and feeling diminishes this immunity, whereas unbridledness of senses and ego weakens the power of preventing this disease or our immunity. Medicine is to be administered to one who invites element, and this inviting elements is very easy. Conversely, positive attitude and control of senses mean invitation to health, and it is very difficult, but it is not impossible. Health is more a prevention than a cure of disease. Now, the second component is integrative medicine. It is a system of integrative medicine based on the view that optimum health of individual and society can be obtained only when all aspects of individual and social determinants and dimensions are taken into account in a symbiotic manner. So, these are different determinants of health. Health have included the individual health as well as health of the families, society, and communities. So, there are different determinants, and these are different dimensions of health which we use. This means that healthfulness is an outcome of a dynamic interaction among our genetic, which is physical and physiological, mental, that means emotional and psychological, spiritual, socio-cultural, and environmental factors. There are different healthcare sectors and health-related sectors which also influence health. I will not go into detail, but if you see on one side are public healthcare sectors, on other side is private healthcare sectors, and there are few health-related sectors at the bottom. They are education and agriculture. They all influence healthcare. And out of these, if we say the 70 to 90% of all are curative healthcare, and the very less emphasis are given on other. So, if you see what is the health influence over the life course, as we grow, on the bottom, on the x-axis is the age of the individual. If you see, as the age increases in the early ages, on health, the influence of family, school is more. And as the person grows, the influence of individual, influence of the workplace and community starts increasing. And when we talk about the public health or the health of the community, the focus is also important. Like which level are we focusing on? So there are different levels starting from the individual to the international level, or the delivery levels, like from a lower, village level worker to a tertiary care hospital. Thus, the practice of integrative medicine is characterized by diagnosis of core clinical imbalances that underlie the manifestation of disease, exposures, and inputs. And these balances arise due to insufficiency or excess, or due to exposure to toxic influences, or due to infections or infestations, or due to lack of exercise of body as well as of mind, physical trauma, emotional trauma. So, the natural history of disease takes into account agent, host, environment, all the three, and if all the three are interacting, then only the disease happens, or if you have to incorporate all these, and this can be done with the help of different levels of prevention. So, there are 5 levels of prevention. Starts from the health promotion, specific protection, early detection, limitation of disability to rehabilitation. So, if you see the spectrum of health, the integrated health system has got influence from the all throughout the spectrum of the health. I just shared you the spectrum of health from the dead to the positive health. So the education, integrated health system, they have got influence throughout the spectrum of the health. So many of the world healthcare system are holistic in nature, including the allopathy and our indigenous system of medicine, that is Ayurveda. But that is not always the case. So here the term complementary medicine is being used, which it refers to use of both allopathy and other system of medicine, that is Ayush. So my emphasis is all the pathies can be holistic if the approach is right, including the modern system of medicines. And the best example nowadays, it is gaining importance, and the best example for this is Center of Integrative Medicine, CIMR 8 AIMS. It was inaugurated by the present health minister in 2016. So you can go through, and this is the APEX Center, the All India Institute of Medical Sciences started this Center for Integrative Medicine and Research. And so the trend of holistic approach and integrative medicines is on the rise. I will not go into the shift. There are different components which now the allopathy system has incorporated. And straight away I will come to the conclusion that there is a need to understand the conception of health and healthcare afresh. More attention is to be paid to health promotion and disease prevention than to cure. It is much easy to invite disease, but it is very difficult to invite health. And for health promotion and disease prevention, integrated health approach is to be emphasized and popularized. Ultimately, of course, only the individual human is responsible for this, as he or she has to make the necessary adjustment to hygienic requirement, nutritious diet, and conducive lifestyle to achieve health. A doctor can only be a guide. So I would like to end my presentation with this prayer: Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve bhavantu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma pashyantu dukbhag bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. But this is not the end of my presentation. If the chair permits, I would like to take 2 more minutes to share one movie so that you all can be, some of you are feeling sleepy and last speaker is not there, so his representative is here. I will just take 2 minutes to share, the story of rabbit and turtle.
Once upon a time, a turtle and a rabbit had an argument about who was faster. They decided to settle the argument with a race. The turtle and the rabbit both agreed on a route and started off the race. The rabbit shot ahead and ran briskly for some time. Then, seeing he was far ahead of the turtle, he thought he'd sit under a tree for some time and relax before continuing the race. He sat under the tree and soon fell asleep. The turtle, plodding on, overtook him and soon finished the race. Emerging as the undisputed champ, the rabbit woke up and realized that he'd lost the race. The moral of the story is that slow and steady wins the race. This is the version of the story that we've all grown up with. But our version of the story continues. The rabbit was disappointed at losing the race, and he did some thinking. He realized that he'd lost the race only because he had been overconfident, careless, and lax. If he had not taken things for granted, there's no way the turtle could have beaten him. So, he challenged the turtle to another race. The turtle agreed. This time, the rabbit went all out and ran without stopping from start to finish. He won by several miles. The moral of the story? Fast and consistent will always beat the slow and steady. It's good to be slow and steady, but it's better to be fast and reliable. But the story doesn't end here. The turtle did some thinking this time and realized that there's no way he can beat the rabbit in a race the way it was currently formatted. He thought for a while and then challenged the rabbit to another race, but on a slightly different route. The rabbit agreed. The turtle and rabbit started off. In keeping with his self-made commitment to be consistently fast, the rabbit took off and ran at top speed until he came to a broad river. The finishing line was a couple of kilometers on the other side of the river. The rabbit sat there, wondering what to do. In the meantime, the turtle trundled along, got into the river, swam to the opposite bank, continued walking, and finished the race. The moral of the story? First, identify your core competency, and then change the playing field to suit your core competency. The story still hasn't ended. The turtle and rabbit by this time had become pretty good friends, and they did some thinking together. Both realized that the last race could have been run much better. So, the turtle and rabbit decided to do the last race again, but to run as a team this time. They started off, and this time the rabbit carried the turtle till the riverbank. There, the turtle took over and swam across with the rabbit on his back. On the opposite bank, the rabbit again carried the turtle, and they reached the finishing line together. Both the turtle and rabbit felt a greater sense of satisfaction than they'd felt earlier. The moral of the story? It's good to be individually brilliant and to have strong core competencies. But unless you're able to work in a team and harness each other's core competencies, you'll always perform below par, because there will always be situations at which you'll do poorly and someone else does well.
So that is the importance of integration. Thank you very much.
And that is the holistic approach.
Yeah, that is the holistic approach.
You have shown it. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Bhatt. You have worked hard to make this PPT and given many informations to us. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, some of the pictures, like they were having animation, so which I could not play because of some, technical issue.
Yeah, right.
And I wanted to use the, power, that pointer, but the presentation is in front of me.
Right.